So, welcome, 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 Diane, to Becoming Carmen. Like, I've had you in spaces with me before just to speak on education, but this time it is my pleasure to welcome my spiritual mom, my friend, into a new arena for me. I started a business, mom. Let's stop for a moment for the cause and be like, I have pulled you up to Becoming Carmen, the business. And although I'm having you speak on education, what do you think about the fact that your spiritual daughter has started a business?
I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. A long time coming
Yeah.
because I always knew it was there.
So I brought you into this space because I had this thought to interview you on one subject. It's always education,
Yeah.
but do you remember the time? I can't get Michael Jackson out my head, but do you remember?
Okay.
So I have a colleague that I'm helping. Her name is Kimberly Townsend. She's starting a school in the 24-1 community.
Okay.
I told you that's the county.
Uh-huh.
And I've told you that some of their values are lead. Well, the acronyms is lead, but the values make up love, excellence, authenticity, and discipline. So, do you remember when you first went into school? Do you remember kindergarten? Where were you at?
I was at Simmons School on St. Louis Avenue.
Wow.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
What was the experience like if you can go back that far? Do you remember what it was like going into school? Your teachers? What kind of support did you have?
Well, I have to really think back on that. That was, oh, wow. But I do remember it being strange, out of the norm for me.
Hmm.
Uh, I can even sit here and remember the classrooms. The teacher was so caring
She
because it
was
was new.
caring.
All of us was new, and she was new to us.
So you felt love.
Yes, yes,
Oh.
I did.
So you were scared, I would imagine, being a kindergartner,
Yes,
leaving home. So she provided like a safe space for you.
yes, she did. She
Okay.
did.
Wow. So you remember entering kindergarten, you remember Simmons. You may not remember the name, but you remember someone caring for you.
Yes,
Do you remember a time where you saw Kimberly leading with a caring heart? You know, she's opening up a school in the 24-1 community. Like, do you remember a time where she led with that same caring compassion that you had when you were in kindergarten? And is that something that's missing in education now?
yes, I do remember. When working with her, I remember an incident where a little boy, he had special needs and he was having an issue, and they had a program for the parents going on. And I took the little boy to another classroom and I was letting him just release his energy, you know, but letting him know that I was there for him. And she came in the room and she said, "Oh, Miss Diane, I am just so sorry because I was supposed to have been doing something else." But when she came in, she was like, "He's going to be okay. He's going to be okay." And I say, "I know he's going to be all right, you know." I say, Miss Kim, I love the attention, the one-on-one that I have seen her try to give every student, whether special needs or not, that had an issue. The affection, you can just tell that she cared, and she wanted that child to know she cared. And I told her that day, I said, you go ahead and do what you do, and I'm going to do what I do, because that's what they need, was love. And when she came back to the classroom, the little boy was laying in my lap and he was asleep. But I had just let him run his energy out. He saw that I wasn't trying to be aggressive. I wasn't trying to get him to obey. I just let him be him. And I said, now are you through? Because you look very tired. And he came over there and he sat down. But because of the love that I saw her giving, and I've always believed that was my core issue with schools and teachers, not showing love to the children.
Wow. Okay. Do you remember when you put your two boys in elementary school for the first time? You remember caring and love and all of that when you were in school. Do you remember when you put your two sons in school? Was
Yes.
love there when you put them in school?
No, I'm sorry, no.
What
And
happened?
excuse me, my oldest, when I first took him to school, well, I actually took my nephew to school, and he went with me. And he was to be in the same classroom with this same teacher. And she mistook him for my nephew. And the first thing she said was, just get over there and find you a seat. And I got ready to take him back out. I got ready to say, oh no, this is not where he's going. Because I already see it's going to be a problem. This is new to this child, you know? And instead of you greeting them with love and showing them that, hey, I'm your teacher, good morning, my name is whatever, whatever, you know, what she did was tell a child to go sit down. It's new to him. What do you know? What is he supposed to do?
So somewhere between, because black don't crack, y'all, somewhere between you being in kindergarten or primary school and then you becoming a mother, something changed. You know, I don't know what I don't know. And I'm so grateful for you staying on me to perfect my craft and being okay with not being perfect and being a smart tail butt. But one thing I do know is that over time, education in this state has drastically declined along with enrollment. And I keep asking, do you remember? Because in like the 60s and the 70s, that's when we started to see a drastic shift in education, how children were being educated. I want to say that's when DSIG and all of that stuff started to happen. So now we went from you getting this great loving experience to your children not getting it. Now you're grandma, you know, so do you remember? I know like Paul is a gifted grandchild to you, but do you remember when some of your grandchildren have went to school? And I know Treasure's not even in school yet, but she's going.
Yeah.
What has your experience been in the last 10 years watching your grandchildren and nieces and nephews in school? Is there something missing that, and Kimberly is the only thing that I can use as a model because she is a representation and embodies every value that she's putting into her school. Like, can you speak to what's missing now for your grandchildren in education and how Kimberly School embodies that?
Yes, I can. I feel what's missing is the love, not just for the child, but the job. Teaching encompasses a lot. That's the whole child, not just part of the child, not just the classroom, but the whole child. And I say the whole child because we can sit in a classroom as a teacher and we can teach them, but we have no personal affection, I would say. And I know you can't do it for all children because some won't allow, and you don't know what they're going through or whatever. Everybody have issues, even children. And I think that if they were paid more attention to, if you see a problem child, then you know that he's looking for something, he's missing something. And in the field of teaching, I think that's the key thing that we need to pay attention to as teachers. Because if you can help one, you can help a million. But if that one get that attention that you observed or you assessed that he needed, then I think that's awesome. But I think that's what's missing. And that's what I saw in Kimberly.
So where the missing pieces are, she pulls up where the missing pieces at, Mama?
Yes, she does. She does.
So I thank you for going through do you remember the time? I thank you for confirming that there was a time when education was full of love.
Yes.
And that it can be full of love again, with the focus being the children at the center of it.
Yes.
We can't be focused on systems and people. We have to be children focused when we're talking about education. And Kimberly has a heart that is so children focused that I believe that in this moment, if we just stop and really just look at the leadership school, we will see so many hopes and dreams for these children manifest. Never has there been a time where children have a voice like they do right now. And she is now empowering, and I do mean empowering, these young people to speak like I've never seen before. Imagine a kindergartner telling you their why and standing on it because they know that they are affirmed behind the scenes. Imagine children being able to come to a school where they may not be getting their needs met at home, but can pull up in that space and get holistic support.
Yes.
That's what we're talking about, right, Mom?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I thank you. Like, I didn't want to take a lot of your time. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't crazy. So I wanted to ask you, do you remember?
Yes.
Because it did exist. Yes. Love was in schools. Excellence was in schools. The ability to be authentic was in schools, and discipline was in school.
Yes.
Somewhere we lost it. But this awesome woman, Kimberly Townsend, is pulling up saying, I got an answer for that. Yes. It's called the Leadership School. Should kids send their school, should parents send their kids to the Leadership School, Mom?
Oh, of course. Of course. If I was there, and I got 4, they would all be there.
Oh, so you would move to the Normandy district to get your kids in that school?
They would all be there. They would.
Well, I
Because
ain't got
I
nothing.
seen it
Go ahead.
I seen it behind the scene. I was there.
You was behind the scenes?
I was behind the scene. I was there.
So you know everything was crack-a-lacking, wasn't you?
It was. It was what it was. And I was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what's missing.
Yeah. So you know this woman at her core.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I was just making sure because I'm just trying to make folks make it make sense. These are unfiltered interviews with all of the hiccups because I'm just becoming Carmen. And I was told that I could be grading my space with my hiccups.
Yeah.
I want the world to know why I stand in the gap for Kimberly Townsend and why people were talking about Norquise even pulled up, Mom, you know she don't do interviews.
Right.
She even pulled up, said, I'm going to think about trying to figure out a way to get to that district to get my kids, my grandkids in that school.
Yes, see, that's what I'm talking
about. She did a live and she don't do lives. So I just want people to understand. Do you remember the time? I remember when Kimberly educated Paul. That's all I got to say. The truth don't need no support.
I was there. And I saw it. And it wasn't just Paul, it was every one of them that was there. And I was loving it.
All of them?
All of them. All of them. You know. And you know how it is when you love what you do, it's no stress. It's just you. Because that's what you do. You know, and I saw that. And I was like, if that would come back, you know, then we wouldn't have a lot of dropouts. We wouldn't have a lot of things that's going on, even though it's issues at home. If kids see that they got that one teacher, that one somebody, then it would be awesome and they would go far.
Well, my mom always knows how to crack it open. That one somebody in the 24-1 that's pulling up to partner is Kimberly Townsend, founder and executive director of the Leadership School. I understand we don't understand it yet, but it's happening and she's here and she's dope and she's phenomenal. So there's nothing left to say. I'll be pulling up again next week to talk to somebody else about why Kim is about that life. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.